most people, when they think about cloud computing, fear losing control. It's sort of what a lot of press talks about, sort of the mysterious cloud out there, and it's really not true. So let me take a couple of minutes of contrasting how it used to be before, when I managed data centers for GoToMeeting, GoToMyPC, and I owned the machines, and well, I was in control. I had to be in control because I had to actually take care of the hardware. So I'm Thorsten von Eicken, CTO and founder of RightScale. And since I've been moved to the cloud, it's almost 3 years now, I actually don't see any difference. It doesn't feel less in control than it did before. It's just that there's a lot less I have to deal with. So the whole physical plant is something that's no longer on my mind and worry me. And on the flip side, I actually get a lot more control and a lot more flexibility in that I have a much larger infrastructure to work with, and I can much more easily use more resources in localities that I would have otherwise a very hard time getting into. And for example, just setting up a redundant service in multiple data centers, if you have to do it yourself and you have to contract and scout out the places, is a huge amount of work. Whereas nowadays it's just in the cloud, it's just choosing a different data center, a different zone, a different provider, and firing up a clone of the machine you have in the primary data center over there. So it's really not a loss of control. And at the end of the day, I'm just as much in control as I was before, right? I would never walk up into the data center. Data centers were around the world. It's always an SSH away, a ping away, an HTTP request away. And this hasn't changed. I can control everything that runs on each of the machines, and I have full transparency there. And actually the transparency is something that at RightScale we've been focusing on from the beginning. It's very important to me that at any point in time I know what's going on, and I can inspect everything that's happening. And for our customers, it's the same thing, right? When you're using RightScale and you're using the cloud through RightScale, everything we do, all the automation we put in place, all of the magic stuff is actually exposed to you. So all the scripts, the server templates, the write scripts, the automation, the auto scaling, all of these pieces are controllable to you, and you can see all of the ingredients that go into it. In fact, you can go to any server template that we provide, hit the clone button, make your own copy of it, change what you don't like, right? If you didn't like the way we do the backups, or if you didn't like the way we start up MySQL, you can go in and change it. And you clone our server template, you make your change, you launch the next server, and here you are with what we did plus your changes to it. So you can really inspect and get at every single piece there. The other part about the losing control is perhaps one of availability. You know, what if something fishy or weird is happening? The machine I'm using is misbehaving. And here, again, in the cloud, this may be a slight shift in mindset. You go and you get the next one, right? Getting the next machine is an answer to a lot of the issues. And before, that would be hard, because you don't have extra machines just lying around typically, or limited quantity, and getting at them is not always easy. And now it's in the cloud, it's just so much easier, and that's how you build up the redundancy. So everything we do for our customers tends to be redundant, have multiple web servers, have multiple database servers, have multiple load balancers, so that the redundancy is built in from the beginning, and it can be distributed over multiple data centers from the beginning, even when our customers have only a handful of machines to start with, which is again something that's much more difficult to do if you have to contract with multiple data center providers. So all in all, I don't really feel that I lost any control or lack of transparency. In fact, oftentimes I have more because at the end of the day, it was someone else that ran the physical plant. It's someone else that would run to the data center, and usually they're actually in the office as well, and they're not in the data center, so they don't know either. And you have to call remote hands, and that has all of another can of worms. So the net effect is that the extra flexibility and extra power in the cloud gives me more to work with. And I would invite you to try out RightScale and to see it for yourself. And we have a free edition. You can set a couple of servers up. You can look at our server templates, the ones that are available for free, and modify them and look for yourself how you can inspect everything that's happening on the machine. You can SSH into it, you can format the file system however you like, etc. You can do all of these things. You are in control. So try it out today. Thank you.